Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a legend that has captivated humanity for millennia, one of the seven wonders of the ancient world, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. For centuries, people have debated if they even existed. Were they just a myth, a beautiful story spun from the sands of time? Well, buckle up, because today we're going on an epic journey to uncover a truth far more incredible than any legend. Over the vast golden Iraqi desert, the sun blazes down, casting long shadows over endless plains where the mighty city of Babylon once stood. Sand swirls gently, whispering secrets over buried ruins. Imagine a place so breathtakingly beautiful that even the gods might have envied it. Trees growing on terraces that seem to touch the sky, water cascading through intricate stone arches, and flowers from every corner of the world blooming in a single, impossible oasis. That's the vision of the Hanging Gardens, a paradise in the desert. But here's the kicker. No one has ever found definitive proof of their existence. Historians, archaeologists, dreamers, they've searched, they've theorized, and many have concluded they were nothing more than a fantastical tale. And honestly, for a long time, I believed that too. Until I stumbled upon something extraordinary. A young woman, Layla, an archaeobotanist from Baghdad, sits intently holding an aged parchment. It's sealed with blue wax and marked with mysterious ancient Akkadian symbols. Her face is a mix of awe and bewilderment. This isn't just any letter. This is my grandmother's final note, a message left for me, sealed with centuries of family history. My grandmother was a woman of stories, of whispers from the past, and a deep, almost spiritual connection to the land of Mesopotamia. And in this letter, she wrote something that changed everything. As Layla's hand traces the elegant script, her voice, soft but firm, reads the words aloud. Layla, our blood carries the memory of the gardens. When the tigress whispers your name, follow its voice. For there the queen's tears still water the roots. Layla looks up, a thoughtful, determined expression on her face. She places the letter next to a collection of old, faded excavation maps. Her finger points to a faint, star-shaped symbol on the letter, then matches it to a similar pattern on a satellite image displayed on her laptop. An anomaly. A buried structure, north of Hilla, nestled close to the ancient riverbed of the Euphrates. The queen's tears still water the roots. What did that even mean? It sounded like a riddle from a forgotten age. But the symbol, this star-shaped pattern, it wasn't just a doodle, it was a clue. It matched something I'd seen on old maps, satellite images that showed a strange, almost unnatural formation beneath the sands, north of Hilla, right where the ancient Euphrates once flowed. Could it be? Could my grandmother have known something? Something that history had overlooked? Layla, now with a determined glint in her eye, packs a sturdy backpack. We see her camera, specialized archaeological tools, and a small wooden box filled with seeds, each carefully labeled "The Babylon" in her grandmother's elegant handwriting. The scene transitions to Layla traveling across Iraq, a journey through time and landscape. Bustling, vibrant markets filled with life and color, then serene, endless sand dunes, and finally, the awe-inspiring, silent ruins of ancient Babylon itself. She's driven by an almost magnetic pull. I knew I had to follow this thread. This wasn't just an academic pursuit anymore. It was personal. It was my legacy, my grandmother's legacy, calling to me. My journey took me through the heart of Iraq, a land brimming with history, beauty, and untold stories. And along the way, I sought out someone who might understand the whispers of the past as well as my grandmother did. Layla sits across from Professor Rafiq, an aging historian with kind eyes and a face etched with years of experience. He's surrounded by books and ancient artifacts in a cozy, slightly cluttered study. He was a legend in his field, having worked on secret digs before the conflicts. But now he seemed to have given up on some of the grander dreams. I found Professor Rafiq. He'd spent his life studying Mesopotamia, but even he was skeptical. Professor Rafiq, with a weary but warm smile. People have looked for the hanging gardens for centuries, Layla. Scholars, adventurers, they've found nothing. Maybe they were never even in Babylon at all. Maybe Nineveh. Maybe they were just a beautiful myth, a poetic exaggeration. Layla leans forward, a spark in her eyes. Then maybe, I told him, it's time someone looked with a heart, Professor, not just a shovel. Rafiq looks at her, a flicker of his old passion rekindling in his eyes. He slowly nods. The next shot shows them journeying together, a younger, hopeful spirit alongside an older, wiser one, venturing deeper into the desert, towards the coordinates from the satellite image. As night falls, they set up a small camp. The wind whistles softly, and suddenly, Layla stills, listening intently. We journeyed to the site, guided by those ancient clues. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the desert in hues of orange and purple, a sound, faint but unmistakable, reached my ears. A soft, rhythmic murmur. It was the sound of flowing water beneath the sand. Layla, energized, uses a ground scanner. The device beeps frantically, indicating a large hollow chamber directly beneath them. They begin to dig, dirt flying. Soon a dark stone stairway emerges from the sand, spiraling down into cool, inviting darkness. At dawn, my ground scanner went wild. There was something down there, a massive void. We dug and dug until a stone stairway, ancient and imposing, revealed itself, spiraling down into the earth. It was like stepping into another world, a place untouched by time. They descend. Inside, massive stone columns rise from the darkness, their surfaces intricately carved with intertwining vines, exotic flowers, and elegant Akkadian poetry. Rafiq lights a lantern, and his face, illuminated by the flickering glow, is filled with awe. They walk further, revealing an ingenious, complex underground irrigation system of pipes and channels, engineering centuries ahead of its time. Rafiq gasps, pointing his lantern to the cracks in the stone. The carvings on the columns were breathtaking. A poem written in Akkadian, telling a story. For the queen who longed for her mountains, the king made the earth bloom. And then we saw it. An intricate network of pipes and channels, an advanced irrigation system. It was a marvel, something completely unheard of for that era. And in the cracks of the stone, Professor Rafiq pointed his lantern. Professor Rafiq, his voice hushed with wonder. Roots, incredible. Look, Layla, these roots, they're ancient. Fossilized, yes, but still preserved. And the soil is still rich. Touching the soil, a sudden realization dawning on her face. These roots, Professor, my grandmother's seeds, they were collected from this very place. These are the descendants. These are the plants of the original gardens. The air around Layla warps, and suddenly she's no longer in a dusty underground chamber. She's standing in a vivid, vibrant vision of ancient Babylon, alive and bustling. She sees King Nebuchadnezzar II, regal and powerful, gazing out at a barren, dusty plain. Beside him, Queen Amytis, beautiful but clearly forlorn, her face pale, her eyes filled with a deep sadness. In that moment, touching that ancient earth, a vision, a memory embedded in the very fabric of the land, washed over me. I stood in ancient Babylon, witnessing history unfold. I saw King Nebuchadnezzar II, mighty and proud, but his gaze was not on his conquests, but on his beloved Queen Amytis. She was from Media, a land of lush green mountains, and her heart ached for home in the desolate plains of Babylon. Queen Amytis, her voice soft with longing. The air here tastes of dust, my king. I miss the rivers that sang in the valleys of my home. King Nebuchadnezzar II, turning to her, his voice filled with tender resolve. Then I will bring your valleys here, my queen. I will make the desert bloom for you. A breathtaking montage unfolds. Thousands of workers, a testament to human ingenuity and a king's love, toil under the scorching sun. They build massive terraces, lifting soil and mature trees with sophisticated pulley systems. Water from the Euphrates is channeled through ingenious bronze pipes, flowing upwards, defying gravity. Amytas, now radiant, watches as birds return, singing, and verdant vines begin to crawl across the stone. The hanging gardens, a wonder of love and engineering, come to life. And so he did. He commanded an army of engineers and laborers. They built, they channeled, they defied the very nature of the desert. Terraces rose, water flowed, and slowly, miraculously, the desert bloomed. It was a testament to love, to human will, and to engineering far beyond its time. The hanging gardens were born, a vibrant, living paradise in the heart of the desert, all for his queen. The vision darkens. The vibrant greens begin to fade. The Euphrates, once the lifeblood, shifts its course, its waters dwindling. Droughts strike the land. Then, the ominous shadow of invading armies falls over Babylon. The once magnificent gardens begin to wither, turning brown. Queen Amytas weeps beside the dying trees, her face etched with sorrow. But even paradise is not immune to the ravages of time and circumstance. The vision shifted. The Euphrates, the lifeblood of the gardens, changed its course. Droughts gripped the land. And then, the invaders came. Babylon fell. The gardens, once a symbol of life, began to wither, their beauty fading. Queen Amytas, her voice a heartbroken whisper, "Let the earth remember us in her roots." King Nebuchadnezzar II, his voice filled with a tragic, desperate love. "Then I will bury our dream where time cannot steal it." The king issues a desperate, final command. Workers begin to seal the gardens, burying them beneath layers of stone and sand, along with the sophisticated irrigation machinery. The once thriving oasis vanishes from the world, swallowed by the desert, surviving only as a faint, incredible legend. The vision fades, slowly, leaving Layla standing alone in the underground chamber, tears silently streaming down her face. It was a final act of love, of preservation. He didn't want his queen's dream to vanish completely. He buried the gardens, along with their incredible engineering, beneath layers of earth and stone, hoping that one day they would be rediscovered. And just like that, the greatest wonder of the ancient world disappeared, becoming nothing more than a legend, a whispered tale in the winds of time. The vision faded, leaving me with tears in my eyes, a witness to a love story that spanned millennia. Back in the present, Layla, her face streaked with tears, but now filled with a renewed sense of purpose, kneels in the rich, ancient soil. She carefully plants her grandmother's precious seeds near a small, trickling water spring she has now discovered underground. Rafik watches, a silent, reverent witness. Days later, as the sun rises over the Iraqi desert, a miracle unfolds. Delicate green shoots emerge from the sand, unfurling. Tiny vines begin to curl upward, and then, impossibly, small blue and golden flowers bloom in the arid landscape. But the story wasn't over. Not yet. I knew what I had to do. With hands trembling but determined, I planted my grandmother's seeds in that ancient, sacred soil, right near the small water spring we had uncovered. And then, we waited. Days later, as the sun kissed the desert anew, a miracle unfolded before our eyes. Delicate green shoots emerged from the sand. Tiny vines, descendants of the original plants, began to curl upwards, and then, in a burst of hope, small blue and golden flowers bloomed, a splash of vibrant color against the vast expanse of the desert. Rafik stands beside Layla, a look of profound wonder and emotion on his face. He doesn't speak, just watches, tears welling in his own eyes. Professor Rafik watched, silent, tears in his eyes. Professor Rafiq, his voice thick with emotion. Layla, you've done what centuries of scholars couldn't. You've made Babylon bloom again. Layla smiles, looking from the blooming flowers to the distant horizon where the ancient city once stood. It wasn't just me, Professor. It was her, my grandmother, and them, the king and queen, their love, their legacy. It was always here, just waiting for us to listen. Layla, now looking directly into the camera, records her findings. The flowers and green shoots are visible in the foreground, a powerful backdrop. Now I'm sharing our findings with the world. Maybe, just maybe, the Hanging Gardens were never truly lost. Perhaps they... Now that's for the today. Hope to see you guys in more incoming stories. Never forget to hit subscribe button and the bell icon. Thanks for watching.